thought you were...
Amy.
Yes. Yes, that's right, Amy.
I could come back if you
No, that's all right. Don't tell me. Maureen Morrissey?
It is. Hello, Mrs. Hardy. How are you?
Well, I'm just fine. I barely recognize you.
Well, it's been a long time. I'm surprised you remembered me at all.
Oh, of course, I remember all my excellent students.
Oh, thank you.
Well, come in.
Okay.
Sit down.
All right.
How about some tea or coffee?
Oh, no, thank you. I'm fine.
Oh, this is such a surprise. I don't think I've seen you since you graduated.
5 years ago.
And I heard that you moved out of town.
Yes, I did, but I'm back now. And if it's all right with you, there's something very important I'd like to talk to you about.
I would think that Audrey would be in a much better mood now that she's living back with Dr. Hardy.
Well, for heaven's sakes, Amy, you've been driving her crazy all morning. It's no wonder she's upset with you.
Jessie, this is the most important test in my most important class.
Well, in that case, I should think you'd be studying rather than hounding Audrey for answers.
I'm not hounding her for answers.
Oh?
I'm asking her for the questions.
Oh, well, that makes a big difference. That really does. Of course, you may find out you're not her favorite person when it comes time to grade the papers.
Audrey wouldn't do something like that. At least I don't think she'd do something like that. She wouldn't, would she?
Well, I don't know, but if you keep on pushing her, you'll probably find out. Now, why don't you go on studying?
Dr. Potter called the 8th floor. Hi, Amy.
Hi. What are you up to?
Studying.
Anything interesting?
I can't answer you honestly in front of Jessie.
What can I do for you, Heather?
Well, I have the morning's admission files.
Oh, wonderful. Thanks very much.
Jessie? There is one thing I wanted to ask you. Well, it's not really for me. Actually, it's for that reporter, Jackie Templeton.
The name sounds familiar.
Yeah, well, her sister, Laura, is missing. She's been looking for her. Everyone's been talking about it.
Well, what does she want?
Well, actually, she's doing a story on Rick and Leslie Weber, and she needs some biographical background on them.
Oh, I see. And you told her you could get it.
Well, I said I'd try. Do you know where I could get anything like that? Some background on the doctors?
Oh, I think anything like that would be in Dr. Hardy's office. Why don't you tell your friend to inquire there?
Okay, thanks for the idea. See you later. Bye, Amy.
Oh, bye.
Well,
Here we go.
I think I'll survive your coffee. It's pretty good.
It's instant. I got it on sale.
Oh, no. No more talk about sales. I've about had it with that subject. Have any jam?
Us bachelors never have jam. All part of the code.
Did you hear what you just said?
Look, if you're that hung up on jam, I'll go out and buy some.
I don't mean that. You just said bachelors, as in meaning you and Luke. But he wasn't married.
Did I say that? I must apologize to him next time I see him.
Apologize for what?
Nothing, mate. I forgot to tip the waiter last night.
Oh,
You're certainly looking good today.
I'm feeling good. It's the first morning in forever I've allowed myself to sleep in, and it feels fine.
I'm getting rather bored being worried about you.
I'm touched. What are you worried about me for?
This bedside vigil with Ruby is turning into an endurance test.
All worry and no sleep does not make a good man.
Well, it don't make a good woman either, honey. You look like you've had a pretty rough vigil yourself.
Yeah, I had about 4 hours with the bed, but unfortunately, sleep eluded me.
I know what you mean.
How's Ruby?
She is improving. Sorry. But
right.
she's not out of the woods yet. And as soon as I finish spitting this muffin all over you, I'm going back there myself.
You want some company?
Really, we could use a change.
Well, I don't think you want to go to a hospital for a change of scenery. Why don't you just stay here and keep working on our missing persons?
Well, we've gone about as far as we can on that one.
Robert, I don't want to hear that. You know that isn't so. We've barely scratched the surface. So why don't you, come up with something while I'm gone?
Hey, don't worry, we will. We're on the verge of a breakthrough right now.
You are? Well, good.
Bye-bye.
Bye. See you later.
Why did you have to say that?
Say what?
Telling him we're on the verge of a breakthrough, and we're not even bloody well close.
I'm keeping his spirits up.
Terrific. If it's one thing that Luke appreciates, it's honesty.
So why don't we stop spiking his coffee with these dumb placebos of yours and get out and find a few leads?
Fine. Then let's get started. Let's go over the events again. You said yourself that the key to any mystery is in the past.
Is that how you see this? I mean, some sort of an Agatha Christie spin-off, now showing the 10 Little Lauras?
No, just a mystery. A very real and scary one. Now, if we approach this logically, with a sense of direction, we'll be able to solve it.
You and Luke should have been cheerleaders.
Just what I need, a comedian on my hands.
Okay. It's Let's Humor Jackie time. Off you go.
Okay. Fact 1. Laura Spencer returns to Port Charles, unpacks her baggage, and then disappears.
Somewhere on the waterfront.
Right. Fact 2, at the same time, Mel Wilson, the photographer with whom she was working with, leaves New York for Port Charles.
Fact 3, you receive a call from your sister, a frantic one at that, at about the same time.
Right. And Mr. Spencer sees her out in the fog.
And promptly vanished, only to make a reappearance by popular demand at Wyndham's department store.
3 isolated events, somehow joined together. I mean, I think we can safely say that it is more than a coincidence.
I'd agree with that.
And then the 3 of us are together.
Tracing telephone numbers and assessing the fact that Laura Templeton is with Mel Wilson.
Who's involved with the disappearance of both girls, along with Dee Gray.
Yes, let's not leave him out.
I think we should for the time being. I mean, we don't know anything about him, but we do know something about the others.
My personal feeling is that Mel Baby is our best lead at this point.
Yeah, but he's disappeared too.
Well, that's why we've got to go elsewhere.
Elsewhere? Where?
Mel's assistant in New York.
He has an assistant?
Yeah. Delphina, or Delphina, whatever her name is, gave me the woman's number this morning.
Well, so it looks like you have been working.
In my own inimitable fashion, yes.
Well, shall we call it?
What a good idea.
How's it coming?
Slowly.
Any way I can distract you for a little while?
Oh, I'm sure you'll think of something.
Well, I thought you might like to take a little break.
Laura, I've been taking a lot of little breaks lately. We're behind schedule, okay?
Sorry. Go back to work. Sorry I interrupted.
Tell me, how's your memory?
You're Mel, right?
Oh, very funny.
Thank you. My memory's fine.
You still remember everything about the project and about David?
Yeah, everything. The only thing I've forgotten is forgetting my memory.
Well, it's not all that uncommon.
Oh, really? You mean people go around forgetting whole parts of their life all the time? I don't think so, Mel. I think this is very weird.
Then it's still bothering you?
Yeah. Yeah, it's got me spooked now. And I don't like being spooked. Especially when all this stuff is going on.
I'm sure there's a reasonable explanation for your memory loss. We just haven't found it yet.
Well, we know I didn't hit my head.
Yeah, but you've been a little nervous lately. Now, that could have caused it.
Oh, come on, Mel. I've been nervous half my life. Now, it may get my adrenaline pumping, but it's not going to cause me to forget.
All right, look, I'll admit, I don't have the answer either. But at least you're back to normal now. And that's all that really matters. Now, how about some lunch?
And, of course...
Tell you what, I will even do the cooking.
Oh, goody. Grilled cheeses again.
Yeah, why not? Only the best.
Hey, wait a minute, Mel.
What?
You know, maybe the answer to my memory loss can be found in what made me remember.
Great, but what made you remember?
Oh, Maureen, it is so good to see you. Are you here on a visit in Port Charles? I do remember you had some family here.
Oh, I still do. I have my brother, my sister, and, of course, my father. But I'm not here on a visit. I'm here to stay.
Oh, but weren't you nursing at some hospital in New Hampshire?
Yes, in Concord. But, I don't know, my father's older now, and I didn't want to let my younger sister take care of him alone. So I resigned, and here I am.
Does sound like the Maureen Morrissey I remember teaching right here in this room.
I don't understand.
Well, you see, I always thought you'd be a fine nurse. You know why? Because you care. So, coming back to Port Charles to help with your father, obviously you still care.
Thank you. I did care about my patients, but I had an awfully good teacher.
Oh, no wonder I'll never forget you.
It's true.
Ah, well, enough of that. Now, tell me, what are you going to do now that you're back home?
Okay, frankly, that's why I'm here. I want to go on nursing.
Well, you couldn't have come by here at a better time. We just lost one of our marvelous nurses to a hospital in New York City. Bobby Spencer, you might remember her.
Yes, I do remember Bobby. We grew up in the same neighborhood, you know. Didn't she live with her brother and her aunt?
Mm-hmm. Luke Spencer and
Yes.
Ruby Anderson is... In fact, Ruby is here in the hospital now.
Oh, it's nothing serious, I hope.
Well, she had rather major surgery and had a rough time of it, but she is recovering very nicely now.
You know, I don't know that she'll remember me, but I'd love to see her before I go.
Oh, good. I'll arrange that.
Oh, great.
But now, let me try to arrange your coming back on the staff here at the hospital. I'm afraid I can't help you much. You're going to have to talk to Jessie Brewer.
Is this at all possible to do it today? Please?
Well, I'll see what I can do. I
Oh,
don't know why
really?
not.
Oh, great. Thank you so much, Mrs. Hardy, really. You don't know what this job means to me.
Oh, Maureen.
Thank you.
Oh, Jessie, it's Audrey. Jess, I have someone in my classroom right now I would like you to meet.
Wait a minute. I don't see why you're going to make the call to my sister.
Yes, Mel's assistant's name is Dora.
Dora, what difference does that make?
Well, back in the good old days, Dora always used to be a female name.
Right again. So what does that mean?
Well, it's an old trick in the spy game. You see, when charm, wit, deceit, and intelligence fail, you have one or two options.
Mm-hmm.
Sex or violence.
Oh, and I have a real good idea which one you usually choose.
Make love, not war.
Remember, Robert, this is a phone call.
Hey, some of my best moves are made over the telephone. This woman doesn't stand
give
a
me
chance.
a break.
Dora, darling, Robert Schofield here.
Who?
Robert Schofield. I mean, this is Dora, isn't it?
Yeah, but I don't know any Robert Schofield.
Hey, sure you do. I mean, Laura Templeton introduced us. I can't believe you don't remember.
I'm sorry. I suppose I could have forgotten.
It was that party last year. About a year ago. You know, hey, I sure remember you.
Oh. Well, should I take that as a compliment?
Oh, you'd better. Listen, the reason I called is, I'm looking for Mel Wilson.
Who isn't?
Excuse me?
I said, who isn't?
You mean you don't know where he is?
No. Last I heard, he was in Port Charles.
Well, you wouldn't happen to know where in Port Charles, would you?
Mm-mm. No, he was supposed to be staying in an apartment he was renting. But the phone's been disconnected, and I haven't heard from him since.
Uh-huh. Listen, you don't know if Laura went with him, do you?
Laura Templeton?
Yeah.
Probably. Mel doesn't like to leave his girls behind, and they've been tight for a long time.
Yeah, I know. Seems like forever.
Look, if you do get a hold of him, will you do me a favor and tell Mel to call me? Because we have been losing a lot of work.
Sure, it's the least I can do. Listen, do you know when he left?
Oh, early January. I think it was the 15th.
Ah, and you haven't seen him since?
No. You know, for an old friend, you're asking an awful lot of questions.
Well, it's kind of important that I talk to him. You know, it's a legal matter.
Oh, sounds very serious.
Oh, not really. Just important. Look, let me give you my number, just in case he shows up.
All right. Go ahead.
Okay, it's 555-2760.
760. Got it. Listen, I don't remember what you look like, but if you're ever free some night...
Hey, listen, we will have a drink. Most definitely. And look, just call me Robert, all right? And the next time we meet, I can promise you won't forget it. Ciao.
Ciao.
Small dog of Chinese extraction.
Great. Well, anyway, what did she say?
The woman?
No, the dog.
Yes. Dr. Hardy will be glad to know the situation's improved. Right. I'll have him call you as soon as he gets in. Thank you. Goodbye. Oh, Heather. I didn't hear you come in.
Hi, I just brought the daily census.
That's nice of you. But Dr. Hardy usually stops by the desk and picks it up himself, or it's sent up.
Well, I thought I'd use this as an excuse to get out and mingle with the rest of the hospital personnel. Seems like ever since I started working here, I've hardly had a chance to get out from behind the desk.
I know how it is.
Seems the only place I ever see anyone is in the cafeteria or else in the elevator.
And no one likes to talk there.
No, they don't. So, how long have you been working here for Dr. Hardy?
Oh, about 2 years.
He must be a nice guy to work for. Much better than those old fuddy-duddies down in admissions.
Dr. Hardy's all right. He gets very busy, but he's never unpleasant. Excuse me for a moment. Dr. Hardy's office? No, you've got the wrong extension. Let me see if I can find that number for you. Yeah, here it is. That's extension 5101. I'll transfer you to the front desk and they'll connect you. Yes.
Yeah. Studying? My goodness, I don't believe it.
Oh, well, things are a little slow around here, so I thought I'd do some catching up.
Let's see. Page 8. Yeah, you have quite a bit of catching up to do.
You know, you could make it a lot easier on a person if you kind of told them what chapters you'd be covering.
Amy, we have been all over it. Haven't we?
Can't blame a girl for trying.
Is Jessie here?
No, she's on her break.
Should I come back tomorrow?
Oh, no. She doesn't take long breaks. I'll tell you what. Why don't we take a tour of the hospital while we're waiting, all right?
Yes, that would be great. I'd love to see the facilities.
Yeah, you'll find there's a lot of changes since you were here.
I know. Oh, that reminds me, while we're at it, is there any way you think that we could stop off and see Ruby Anderson? Because I haven't seen her in such a long time, and I'd really love to wish her well.
Oh, I'm sure we can certainly do that. I know she'd love to see you, too.
If she remembers me.
Oh, come on. Of course she'll remember you. Don't worry about that.
Audrey?
Yes, Amy?
Do you have, do you, ever put aside a little extra time for tutoring some of your slower students?
Amy, you are not slow. Lazy a little, not slow.
Oh, come on, Audrey, just a few minutes.
Amy,
time, please.
studying. That's the only way you're going to pass. Right, Maureen?
Right, Amy?
Oh, here we are.
Maureen? Who the heck is Maureen?
Still studying on duty, I see.
Yeah, well, Audrey said that...
What?
I got stuck or elected or whatever to buy Dr. Hardy his birthday present, and I forgot all about it, and I have no idea what to get him.
Hey, I've got an idea. Why don't you go out at lunchtime with Nancy, secretary?
Nancy?
Sure. I mean, she's always around his office. She'd know what he needs. I'm sure she'd like to help you out.
Yeah, but I was going to study during lunch.
Oh, come on. You can study tonight. She'd be the perfect person to help you.
Think so?
Well, sure. Here, why don't you give her a call? Her extension's 2000.
Okay. I'm kind of sick of studying anyway.
That's the spirit.
Thanks, Heather.
Well, sure. No problem. My pleasure.
This is hardly the time to take a nap.
I am fast becoming discouraged.
Why, because Dora didn't have any information?
Dora didn't have any information that we don't already have.
Well, don't get so glum. I mean, there's still a chance that Mel might call her. You left your number.
Hey, listen, don't hang by your thumbs waiting for that to happen. Listen, we're back where we started from.
Don't you have any other ideas?
If you just give me a second, maybe I could come up with one.
All right. What are these Freudian doodles you got here?
What does it say? That I have an abnormal love of trees and I hated my mother and loved my father?
No, they have an abnormal fixation for kangaroos.
Must be my heritage.
No, I think it's your reputation, hopping from one girl to another. What's this?
What's what?
This date, January 15th. You read it when you were talking to Dora.
Must be the date that Mel got to Port Charles.
Was she sure of that?
Seems so.
Oh. That's it.
That's what?
This is the key.
The key to what? The city, the executive washroom?
Photographer.
Look, I might not be very bright, but this doesn't make sense at all.
Look, this date is 1 day after Laura Spencer disappeared. Mel Whistle couldn't have had anything to do with her disappearance. He wasn't even here.
Where were you?
Where was I when?
When I got my memory back, what were you doing?
I don't know, probably working on the lens.
No, you weren't.
Laura, that's all I've been doing for the last few weeks.
You were reading that newspaper, remember? And we just had that argument because I went out.
Yeah, right, I was reading the ads. What were you doing?
The same thing, only it was a different section. And you were reading yours out loud. What was the product?
Jewelry. Yeah, I think it was jewelry. There was some terrific sale going on.
Yeah. Yeah, and you were scared that I was going to go.
I still am.
Don't worry. You know jewelry's not my thing.
That's what you said.
When?
When I was reading the paper. You said that, and I realized you were right, so I started to read the prices.
Prices? No, it wasn't prices, was it? Weren't you listing the jewels?
Oh, yeah, now I remember.
What kind of jewels were they?
Diamonds, I guess. Emeralds. I don't know, isn't it in that paper somewhere?
No, I threw it away. Try to remember, Mel. Emeralds, diamonds, what else? Wasn't there some...
Rubies. Sapphires.
Sapphires.
Wait a second. Are you thinking what I'm thinking?
David wears a sapphire ring. Sapphire could have been the word that made me remember.
Could have been.
Oh, now that sticks out in my mind now. Say it.
Sapphire. Well?
There's something about that word, Mel. And David has the ring. I don't know, maybe there's some sort of connection.
You're just being silly.
I'm not being silly.
Yes, you are. Lots of doctors and nurses take care of me. You just get in their way.
Well, who is going to entertain you?
They said I could watch television.
Television? Ha! That's not entertainment. Now this is entertainment.
Joe, my stitches.
Now, aren't you glad they sent in the clowns?
Oh, yes, I am. But I just wish Bobby were here. Then it would be like old times.
Yeah. A few laughs, a few tears, a few bottles of booze. It's like the old days with the Spencers, huh?
She's back from her trip?
I talked to her this morning. She is back, and we decided that instead of her taking more time off to come up here and see you, that I would take you down there.
Sure.
Yeah, the three of us in Sin City. You think we can handle it?
Oh, I'll pack my bags and go.
All right, baby. We have to wait until the doctor says it's okay for you to lift those bags, but,
That's okay. Give me something to look forward to.
That's the way I like to hear you talk. I promise you, just as soon as, the doctor says it's okay, I'll whisk you off to New York City so fast it'll make your IV spin. We'll have a real vacation if we don't get busted.
Oh, with Bobby there, it'll make it really special.
Yeah. So all we need is the doctor to say it, and...
Morning, Ruby.
Speaking of the devil.
Hey, Luke, don't tell me you've been here all night.
Oh, no, I went home.
Oh, good. I don't think this hospital can handle more than one Spencer at a time.
Yeah. Well, listen, so what's the news? Is she okay?
You could say that. I have some important news.